Okay guys, I'm back to show you a little bit of what I'll be using for my rising third grader. And a lot of this is repeats from last year. You know, the way we do things is, especially with him, when he gets bored, we try something else for a while. So we bounce around a lot, and then we have a lot of things that we don't do every day. And then with our language arts, we started it in December, the year we started it, December or January. So it typically runs us more of a traditional year versus like the school year. We are year-round homeschoolers, so we don't really follow the traditional school year anyways, but this is a good time to show everybody what we'll be using for next year, because we are currently on our summer break, which is about a 6 to 7 week break. And then we will start up again. We take lots of breaks throughout the school year, including our largest break is probably from right before Thanksgiving to after New Year's. We take the entire holiday season off. That way we can just enjoy time together. So anyways, back to what I'm going to be using. We started using this year. We switched to it. This is teaching textbooks. And this is Hayden's Chromebook. And so he logs in to this, and so all his math is online now. And I probably won't be able to show you anything right now because his program is paused. Teaching textbooks allows you to pause when you're not using it. You have up to, I think it's either 60 days that you can pause, maybe 75, I can't remember. But you can pause it so that your subscription, because you pay per year, isn't being used while you're not actually schooling. So right now it's inactive. I think I have it paused through sometime in July. But he comes on and he does his math, and I can do a more in-depth review of teaching textbooks once it is unpaused again, but they have access to a tutor if they need it. There's quizzes, it automatically grades them. So that's that. That's teaching textbooks. You can check it out. They do have a free trial. And then real quick, I'll just show you, and if you watched last year's videos, these were in it as well. We do not do these every day. We use our morning time to do handwriting and typing unless we have something that they need to be working on. So he'll use handwriting from The Good and the Beautiful, and so he'll finish working on this, and he will do typing level 1 this year. We were going to do it last year, and then we just held off. We had other things we decided to do. New this year for him, we discovered Blossom and Root last year, and I really like a lot of their products. So this is the grade 3 exploring math and art. This kid loves art and math, so we got him this program this year. And so they'll do different mathematic concepts in art, and this is basically a guide. This is not a workbook. Tells him what he'll do, different art to look at each week, and then of course a master supply list of all the things he'll need. So he's gonna actually, I think, start that this summer. We were waiting on some supplies to come in so he could get started. They have now come in, so I think he'll start that this summer. He's just been really excited about it. So that will be his art this year, and I've told Ava if she wants to do it, she can. She does not have to. This is his language arts. We're still in level 1 of The Good and the Beautiful. Now, technically, The Good and the Beautiful is more advanced. It does not align with grade levels. So if you do look into it, you need to assess them and see what level they should start on, because these do not follow grades. So, but we were using this. We stopped probably back in January because he got very bored. I guess it can be kind of repetitive. Ava doesn't seem to mind, but he was getting sort of bored with it. I could tell he needed a break. He was struggling to finish his lessons. So we had just started using a phonics workbook that we had, and some other just pulling from different things we had around the house for him. And so we'll start back into this year and see how he does with it. I do like the program, but if he doesn't seem to do well with it this year, I might have to look at something else for him. But right now, we're going to give it another try. I think he just needed a break. He does that with things from time to time. We bounce around a lot with him to different workbooks. And we use our Kindle a lot. I buy the PDFs of things, so this is some of the other things we'll be using this year. We'll do some of the book seeds from Blossom and Root, and they're just like little mini, 2-week courses. Some of them are based around a children's book. Some of them, like this one, is about Darwin. So we do those kind of to break up, like when we complete a unit study for science and we need sort of just a refresher before we go into something else that is a 12 to 13 week course. We'll do one of these little mini courses. This is Holden's. We're doing Blossom and Root, A River of Voices for our history. I'll talk about that in just a moment. So he'll do, this one is Blossom and Root's Wonder of the Animal Kingdom. This is a nature study we're going to do. And I believe Ava wants to do this with us. It is technically from the level or their grade 3, year 3 program. But we're going to do that this year, this nature study. In fact, they want to start it this summer because they like nature. So we'll probably start that this summer. And here's just some readers to go with the various Good and the Beautiful programs. And our first unit study that we are going to do this fall is the meteorology. Apparently it needs to download. But the meteorology program from the Good and the Beautiful. So this is what we will start. And I don't buy our unit studies, I don't buy them all for the whole year because I want to let the kids pick, when they get close to finishing one, what they'd like to study next, because their interests change. So I don't want to be stuck with having to teach a certain thing. So we're doing meteorology. I would like to do human body next year, but I don't know if they'll pick that. I do think they might like the botany program, but there's lots of different things, so we'll see what they pick. So that is just a little bit about, so we use, for those not familiar, we use Books, which are just different video books, and the kids really like those. So we use this, and then we also use, these are all great right now, especially because a lot of libraries are closed. Ours actually does curbside, our larger library. We like to use the one on base, but that one is completely closed right now. So the larger area library does curbside and has been doing curbside throughout pretty much this whole time. But we also have Epic Books, which is another good online resource for different storybooks. Let's go to Hayden. Hayden uses it the most. And we actually just got this. We'd done a free trial of it before, but we just went ahead and signed up for the full subscription during this pandemic. Since we weren't going anywhere, and we weren't doing our Friday trips to the library. So there's lots of different books that they can read. There's a huge library. They have audiobooks, videos, read to me and for you, which is great. so that during his reading time he can do some independent reading, but when he gets tired or the book maybe is a little above his reading level, he can choose to have it read to him. So that is another thing we utilize a lot, is those different book subscriptions. And then the biggest thing we added to our homeschool this past year, we actually added it last summer because I decided to come up with a rule. Sorry, I wasn't recognizing my little pointer. I came up with a rule that no TV during the day until after dinner, unless it was educational. So we signed up for Curiosity Stream. My kids have it on, they have access to it on their Chromebooks, so they watch it daily during like lunchtime. It's also on all the TVs. It's basically Netflix, but just documentaries, and you can set it to like a kid's version so that it will show more age-appropriate documentaries. Their favorite shows are right now Innovation Nation is big. For the longest time it was Rock the Park, where they travel and visit the different national parks. But there's lots of different things on here, so you can always find something to go with whatever you're studying. And it's just something that I know they can watch all day, and I don't have to worry about what it is that they're watching. And they have learned quite a bit from this. In fact, I think Hayden is like an expert now on all things dinosaur. So I do want to, Blossom and Root came out with a prehistoric unit study, so I haven't bought that yet because they normally have a sale in August, so I'm waiting for that sale, and I'm going to get that, and we will do that next year. It's just a small unit study, probably about 13 weeks or so, 12 to 13 weeks. We will do that at some point next year. It's very hard to find a prehistoric era unit study, and we do science as unit studies. That way they don't get bored. So I'm going to briefly, this is the history, Blossom and Root, A River of Voices. And actually, let me get the Kindle back out here because this is the student notebook that I had printed. The workbook is on here. So we use this program to load all of our workbooks. So here's the parent guide. And I'm just going to show you guys briefly. I think what I'll do is do a more thorough flip through of this program separately, because with everything going on, people are looking for a history program that teaches a more thorough, integrated history that is more inclusive of all different ethnicities, and Blossom and Root has done a really good job with that. This is their volume 1. Volume 2 comes out, I believe, sometime this year or early 2021, but you can check their website. So it will be out before we're ready to move on. But this program just came out, I think this past winter is when it came out. There's a lot of families that are looking to do it this year, and so this is what the parent guide looks like. And the way this is set up, so it will start with like the first European colonies. So this is very early American history. But the way Blossom Root has it set up, there are different pathways. There's the general pathway, the standard pathway, and the advanced pathway. And general pathway is like for kindergarten through like 2nd grade. Somewhere on here it says, but I don't know if I'll find it in time. And traditional, which is, or standard, there's general pathway, which is recommended for K through 2nd. Standard pathway is 3rd through 8, and advanced pathway is 7 and grade 7 and above, as well as parents. We're going to do the standard pathway. So I will show you really quick what the spines for that. And if you're new to homeschool, spines are basically just the books that you will use a lot to get a lot of your reading and information. So the first spine is 1001 Things Everyone Should Know About African American History, the American Revolution for Kids, Before Columbus, the Americas of 1491, A Kid's Guide to Native American History, as well as A Kid's Guide to Latino History. And I believe the general pathway, instead of using this book, I think they do use A Kid's Guides to African American History, but I can't be quoted on that because I didn't actually look into the general pathway that much because we weren't going to be doing it. And with this book, there is a little note that says that some of the content is a little on the mature side, so to read through things, that for the standard pathway of grades 3 through 8, to use your judgment as a parent in what you allow them to do as an independent read versus a read aloud. But these I had printed. This is the student notebook, and they'll each have one of these. It's just basically where they'll record their work and any map work, as well as their Book of Centuries, and we will use this in this level and other levels. I just sort of threw these covers together. This didn't come, but I needed to design a cover when I had them printed, and that we'll use this timeline throughout various levels. So that is pretty much it. I'm not going to go too in depth. I will do a more thorough flip through for you guys of that program probably next week. So look out for that. If you have any questions about it, feel free to comment below. I will have links below for everything that I have shown you. But if there's anything else that you guys would like to see a flip through of that I've shown today, besides just the history we're going to use, let me know and I can do that as well. But hopefully this has helped somebody with what they're going to use for next year. People who are curious about homeschool right now. I have a lot of friends who've reached out to me, so I just wanted to throw this together. I will be doing, I already did, by the time this video airs, you will have already seen the preschool video, and the grade 6 video will be coming. I can also throw a little card up to link back to what we used last year for my kids. So I do have a video of what we used for 5th grade and 2nd grade. But there will be links down below for everything I've shown. If you have any questions, let me know. And hopefully this has helped somebody, or for people like me who just like to watch these videos to maybe find some little things to add to what they're already doing. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be back with more.